Hello, everyone. I'm so happy to be back. I believe it's the fourth episode of this podcast. Welcome back, or welcome to my podcast. This is the Most Healing Podcast. If you guys don't know me, my name is Bree. So I'm very excited today because actually, this is a topic that I've been wanting to touch on for quite a while now. But I know, don't mind the background noise, but there's different things that I've realized. You know what I mean? So it's just important that I just share them instead of thinking them. So today's topic, people change people. Let that sink in for a second. People change people. The impact we have as a whole is powerful. If you wonder why I'm looking right here, I have my notes right here. I write all my notes in my iPad so I won't forget any important information. This is what I've realized as an almost 21-year-old woman. I turned 21 in just 3 months, 4 months, something like that. Before I actually start, I just want to kind of give some breakdowns. So I searched this up and the importance of being in your 20s. I just want to read this Google definition really quick. I just want to give a better understanding why I'm filming this episode. So, the importance of being in your 20s. According to Google, it says your 20s are considered a crucial period in life because it's often when you make significant decisions that shape your future, including career choices, relationship building, personal development, and laying the foundation for long term habits, all while having the flexibility and energy to explore different paths and learn from experiences without the same level of responsibility as later life stages. Key reasons why your 20s are important: there's self discovery, career development, relationship building, brain development, flexibility, and fewer constraints in building good habits. It just says all the information. I'll just put a couple screenshots on the screen, or if you want, you can search up yourself. But this is what I have here. Yes, I am 20, even though I look like a small baby child, especially with this hair going on today. It's fine. I just wanted to touch up on that topic before I actually start the actual episode, if that makes sense. Before I actually start, I just want you to remember that we do have the ability to change people, whether it's a good change or a bad change. For instance, most of us want to be changed for the better, but you can never beg or force someone to change because at the end of the day, it's their own life. If they don't want to change for the better, that's on them. It starts from when you are born. The people that have raised you, for example, your parents teach you this and that. They teach you what is right and wrong. So, for example, let's say racism, sexism, homophobia, etc. Everything. I will dive deeper into that eventually. Those are just different subjects to talk about. I'm not going to deep dive into that right now. My mom always said the phrase, it always starts at home. It is so important because it actually does. When you're born, you get not maybe not straight after, but as when the mom is ready to be home with their baby and everything after recovering from the hospital, you are brought home. You are there to live with your family, like whether it's your mom, your dad, anyone's whoever's at home. You're there to live with them. They they raise you. They have such a huge impact. Not even just like parents, like maybe guardians or maybe older brother, older sister, whatever the case may be. Yeah, stuff like that. It's all about who raised you in a certain household. It's all about, I feel like that's one of the most important things about life. Like I said, it's all about the people who raised you. Thank your parents, family, guardians, anyone who raised you. Let them know how appreciative you are for them because they could have been like a bad parent. You know what I mean? They could have abandoned you. Thank them because you're really blessed to have them. Then, when you get older, you start going to school. Teachers are there for your education. Most of the time, teachers are inspired to become one. Possibly their own teachers back then made them want to be one. The character of a teacher is so important. Also, thank your teachers. I don't really have that many memories of me being in school as a small baby child. I think one of my first memories in school was maybe when I was in kindergarten. But it was like very, very little memories. I feel like I've learned a lot also from school, especially growing up. I would say middle school, high school are the peak, if that makes sense. Like all these other, it's okay if you have like a different opinion other than mine, different opinion from mine, but this is what I feel. At school, this is where we usually make friends. The first few impressions usually matter. So yeah, like think of the first friend you ever made, or at least you can remember. Like think of the first friend you've ever made. For me, personally, I still have friendships that lasted. Like I've known them since I was in elementary school. And I also have friendships still from middle school and high school. So I take my friendships very seriously. I know how to be a good friend. And I know that for sure. I'm a good friend. I still have a 10-year friendship. And like that's so important to me. That is very important to me. Making friends in general and also making friends at school, I searched up both, but they're pretty much the same. Why is it important to make friends at school? Making friends at school is important because it fosters a sense of belonging, improves social skills. Sorry for my lisp. It fosters a sense of belonging, improves social skills, enhances emotional well being, can positively impact academic performance by reducing stress and providing support, and helps to develop. Sorry, I'm like squinting because I can't see, but I wear glasses. I don't like to wear them. Okay, sorry, off topic. Anyways, by reducing stress and providing support, and helps develop crucial life skills like communication and empathy and conflict resolution. Google can explain it better than I can. That is very important. I feel like it is very important to make friends. Like, that's when you actually make friends at school. Like, think about it. Let it sink in. We're gonna take a lot of moments of silence for this video. Like, I feel like that's just something to think about and something to always remember. Keep that in the back of your mind because it really does make a difference when you're making friends. Like even if you have one friend, I have a lot of friends, but that may sound bad, but I know how to keep it like at a balance, if that makes sense. Cause I just know I follow my intuition. I know who's a true friend and who's not. So that's if you think someone's being a fake friend, then you take it off with that person. You guys talk about it, whatever. I know I have good friends. This next pinpoint is definitely my favorite because it's about relationships. I'm definitely a love a girl for real, and I feel like this is definitely one of the most important things about life, and I'll tell you why right now. Just give me a second. Let's say there's a couple, right? The guy cheats on a girl, or vice versa. However you wanna think about the situation. The girl is heartbroken. They break up. It's all about how she goes about this situation, right? She can either stay loyal to her next boyfriend whenever she gets one, or she can also cheat with her next boyfriend just because her ex has done it to her. It's all about what she does about the situation. Literally, she can just be like, "Hey, yeah, I'm a good person. My parents never taught me to cheat, so why would I do that to him just because he did it to me?" Or like, she can go ahead and cheat on her current boyfriend because her ex-boyfriend did it to her. If you really like or love someone, you won't cheat on them. It's just common sense. Experiencing partners/new partners is so important. It reveals what you want and don't want in/from a partner and or a relationship. Not only want/don't want, but also need and don't need. Let that sink in for a second. There's a difference between want and need. You can date to marry. I personally date to marry. I'm not here to waste anyone's time. Maybe I'm too young for this mindset, but hey, that's just how I feel. This is where it actually sinks in and makes sense because if you guys decide to marry, have kids, or vice versa, we don't judge over here. If you guys decide to marry, have kids, this is where the life cycle begins. Everything that you've ever known from when you were a baby, basically, baby, toddler, child, let's say that. Everything you've ever known since then, it will lead up to where you are a parent. Romantic love is so important. It is so important. And that's just how I feel. That is where the life cycle begins because once you have your person, once you have your soulmate, your forever, whatever you want to call it, that's when you guys decide to have a child together, and it's like the cycle carries on. The life cycle carries on. And then when you guys have a child, then your daughter, son, whoever will have a child eventually, and then it just keeps going and going and going and going. The siren again. Oh my gosh. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but once again, I sure can. Ooh, it's always when I'm filming. Why it can't be another time? It was definitely a sign for me to talk about this episode because, well, talk about this topic because I've just, I've known a lot of things, but I've also realized them. There's a difference, I believe. So, like, it's crazy. Obviously, YouTube is one of the biggest platforms in the world, and like you never know how many people can see this. Even if like one person sees this, I'll be happy. Like that one person could still be influenced by that. If freaking 100 people saw this, I'll be happy, of course. But I don't really care about the numbers. I just want to make an impact. The inspiration is so powerful. I just felt so inspired. And as a like sensitive and emotional person, I feel things very deeply. Like I said in my last episode, but I feel things very deeply, and it's important to have those emotions because you know what you're feeling. That's a good thing to know what you're feeling. And I'm not going to say who, but a certain person inspired me to make this episode because like damn, ever since that person came into my life, wow. I didn't really believe it at first because I didn't think they would stay into my life for however long, but you know, it's just, how do I say this? Basically, that person has taught me so much, and I feel like this is the most important breakthrough of my life so far. But for now, right now, it's definitely the most important breakthrough I have ever gone through, and it hit me hard. It's amazing what can happen in only a day because, okay, if you know, you know. It's just people can teach you so many things. According to Google, we have the population of approximately 8.9 billion people in this world. That is an insane amount. I remember when it was like literally only 7 billion. It's insane to me how much we can learn from so many people. Some might have the same perspective as others, but some might have a different perspective from others. And honestly, I believe that's one of the greatest gifts we can have. Teaching leads to learning, and learning leads to knowledge, and knowledge leads to growth. Once again, let that sink in. Take a moment. I was writing that, I was like, oh wow, I feel mad wise. Like, your own parent can learn something from you because parents aren't perfect. They don't know everything. Why? Because they're human beings. Human beings are not meant to be perfect. The only one that can be perfect is God. And that's on period. How I can learn something from someone that's maybe only a couple or few years younger than me. Like literally, I think it was like a couple of days ago where I asked advice from someone younger than me, and they actually helped me so much. Shout out to you. I love you so much. I love to hear everyone's opinions, thoughts, experiences. I just love to like listen, because there's a difference between hearing and listening. I love to listen to people. I love to validate others' opinions and feelings, if that makes sense. What I'm really trying to say is value everyone's say. It is so important. You never know what they could teach you. My belief is, and it's also common sense, that all 8.9 billion of us will have and have had different experiences, whether it's good or bad. And it's been like that since Adam and Eve. Life is literally a cycle. It keeps going. It never stops. Time is eternal and life is eternal. Also, God is eternal. Think about it. According to Google, what percent of the world is good versus bad? As of May 2024, the ratio 97% represents the average of good people in the world. Hence, out of the present population of 8 billion people in the world, the estimated 3% of bad people would make 240 million people in the world. That is crazy. All I'm really trying to say is, again, pick a side, positive or negative, righteous or evil, good or bad. Don't be part of the bad population, that 3%, because it can increase. Do not let it increase, let it decrease. Be a good person. You can make a difference. Keyword is, you guess it, you. One of my most favorite quotes are, "You have the power to create the life you want." And that is by Jessica Alba. I believe so. I hope so. I've been living with that motto ever since like last year, maybe something like that. It's helped me so much. Oh my gosh, so much. Another quote that has stood out to me today: remember, God has blessed you so that you can be a blessing to others. Once again, take a moment. That is so powerful. If you want to have a good or at least better impact on someone else's or even your own life, please watch my other video, my previous episode. It's gonna help you. I believe I covered everything, but if I did miss anything, please comment below. Coco wants to say hi again, guys. He's always with me. Thank you for listening and or watching. I really appreciate you and I love you. This is the Most Healing Podcast, and I'll see you in the next one. The one and only Brianne.